Teacher Basemera Stella Maris Mugume is a transformational mathematics educator and mentor, creative learning methods researcher and consultant at Multiple Learning Center in Kaliti, Wakiso, and the CEO of Creative Learning Africa, A+, a learner support company. She is also an inaugural ambassador of Connections-Based Learning by Sean Robinson Canada, New Vision Top 40 Under 40 in 2019, and Mathematics Educational Materials Creator. She began her career as a freelance tutor of math after qualifying as a professional teacher from the University of Makerere. Actually, she got a Bachelor of Science with Education and Certification in Guidance and Counseling, both then at Makerere University, Kampala. She has been a guest speaker at the Brit 10 Teachers Seminar, June 2018, that was organized by Brit 10 under Brit Olam and the Jewish Agency for Israel, and hosted a number of teacher trainings since then. She has also been a guest speaker at the 40th Annual Mathematics Teachers Conference, as well as the Women Business Breakfast organized by Women in Technology Uganda. She has published a logical reasoning book, Fun Math Activities, Math Practice Games, and Miss Math Tutor comic book. My Math Journal is yet to be released. Not only has she featured in the Full Woman magazine of the Daily Monitor newspaper, April 2019, about making learners love math, but also the Independent magazine, issue 576, about making math fun for learners. She is the creator of the interactive WhatsApp classrooms that have enabled continuity in learning amidst COVID-19 crisis. From kindergarten to senior 6, this has gone up to the United Kingdom and other parts of the world with over 500 student beneficiaries. I had a conversation with Basemera Stella Maris Mugume one morning and had it recorded, and I wanted to share with you even as we kickstart this month of talking to educationists, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a blessing to you, especially if you are a parent and you're having students or pupils who have abilities that needed to be exploded and deployed in terms of their potential, especially if there is a struggle in mathematics. Stella is your wild card. So listen to this.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whatever place it is that you're tuned on to the Life Signatures podcast, Life Signatures Radio. I am so happy to be able to be doing this in the month of April. We are talking about education, matters to do with education. And for that reason, I have been scurrying around the region looking for people who I know for sure. They are not only passionate about this subject, but they are also practitioners at it. They have been working on it and they are still working on it, and they are proud of what they are doing. And one of those people is, I don't know how to pronounce your name well, but I know Stella. What is your other name? How do you pronounce your other name, Stella?
Basemera.
Basemera. And how about the other one? There are three names you have.
I am Basemera Stella Maris. And yes, my marriage name is Mugume.
So there are four names.
Yes.
Anyway, Stella, you're welcome to the Life Signatures podcast. I'm sure that you're looking forward to having this discussion with us, even as we're talking about education.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited to be on this podcast, and I'm hoping I'll be able to share with you everything that I have to share.
Thank you, Stella. Let's just get into this very, very fast. You know for sure that in your area of passion, which is education, there is a lot of bias, especially when you are in uni. For the most part, people look down on the course that you took. What course did you take at university? I'm guessing it was education, right?
Yes, I did Bachelor of Science with Education. It's quite unfortunate that people used to look down on that course. But what brings that is that when you're applying for courses at the university, you have options, or you have to fill in all those 6 options. Now, in most cases, students would not go for education. They would just put it as the last choice. And then the university realized this. So what they would do, whoever had education, they would give it to them first. And they wouldn't look at anything else. They first look out to whether you have education among your choices. Even if it's the last one, they would give it to you, and then they do what? They move on. So that's why we also have a problem whereby there are teachers who don't really love being teachers. There are people who do education and then after doing the course, they go ahead and do other things. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think these days they're trying to change the narrative. If you didn't put it among your first 3 choices, they don't give it to you. Because now we can see how it's affecting the system.
How was it for you? Did you want it?
I actually wanted it. But you see, when you're applying it, you can't put only one course. If the option was there, I would have put only one course. So you put and then you fill in the other spaces for formality.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I actually wanted it.
So for you, you put it as your first choice?
Yes.
And that's what you got?
Yes, of course I got it. They wouldn't be happier to give it to me.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What necessitated you to do that? I mean, you at that moment in time, people were taking other courses and they were proud of taking other courses other than education. But for you, you wanted it. Why? Why did you want it that bad? Why was it your first choice?
So when it comes to, my issues start with math generally. When I was in high school, I found math really easy, and I would easily figure out things because I had that one special teacher called Shakante. And I send greetings to him wherever he is. He teaches at Cyber International School right now in Tutoring. But that teacher mentored me, and he helped me realize the beautiful side of math. You know that moment when you're a bright student, but you're trying to look for answers. Something wasn't adding up. he helped me adapt things in math. He helped me make sense out of mathematics. So, but then I realized that other students were struggling with math. And I also,
the same,
yes, I kept trying to help them out like that. So you'd find when I went to A level, I used to assist senior fours with revision. Sometimes they would ask me questions about the physics practicals. I did PEM. Technical drawing. That time we used to do 4 of them, 4 principles. So you'll find that senior fours are coming to me asking about physics practicals, especially the electrical part. They come to me asking about mathematics, and I would help them. So I was like their mini teacher. I was like their mini teacher.
They were ahead of you, right? But they were ahead of you.
No, they was in senior 4 and I was in A level.
Oh yeah, okay.
A level, like senior 5 or 6 there. So
yeah, okay.
There is that element of it also coming naturally. I'm a natural teacher.
Yeah.
So before all the qualifications, I was already a teacher.
You love it. You love teaching. You have the gift, the passion. Let me call it the passion, the art to
I have the passion and the gift.
Yeah. So it's easy to say that you were born to do this.
Yes, I was born to do this. But in Uganda, you need to go to school, and not even in Uganda only, but in also other places, you need to go to school so that you gain more knowledge about the passion and you make more meaning out of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm guessing you breezed past that degree course in education.
Oh, it wasn't easy, by the way. I didn't know that, when you're doing education, you're busy thinking you're just going to teach you how to teach, and because other aspects, you literally, now if you're doing math, you do the math everyone does at the university. If you look at the kind of math we did, it is the whole engineering math book plus other math things.
Whoa.
Because we did biomath, we did differential equations, we did calculus, all the 3 calculuses, we did linear algebra, there was reanalysis, so many things. You get that engineering math book and other math things and put them together. You actually study university kind of work. You don't do anything from high school. That's why I think it's easy for teachers to cross over to other fields.
Oh, yes.
You may find someone did Bachelor of Science with Education and they're teaching math in engineering. They're teaching the math section in the engineering department, and you wonder, but that person did the Bachelor of Science with Education. The kind of math done at the university is the normal university math and even more. Because we asked one of the lecturers why they teach that kind of math to us, yet they are going to teach high school. So the lecturer said, you're teachers, you're supposed to be able to teach everything. Now, what if I give you my son in first year, then what? So he told us, we need to teach you everything. And he said that for you teachers, you have no excuse. You can even add on things to teach you. So we had many course units.
Yeah.
I think we are the only course that would have a minimum of 9 course units, but it was very easy to go up to 14 course units in a semester.
Whoa.
Because you would have the foundational course units. Those ones are about the teaching and all, how you're supposed to teach, the curriculum, psychology, and all that. Then you have 2 teaching subjects. Now, for each teaching subject, you have course units there. That's how they ended up becoming like 12, 9, 11, things like that. Yes, but it is not as relaxing as people imagine it to be. It's one of the busiest courses. I even wanted to start part-timing, but I couldn't because I had no time. I was literally in school from morning to evening. And there's that part of doing assignments, reading for tests, things like that.
You know, I've always imagined, God forgive me, I've always imagined that it's one of the easiest, less busy courses that anyone can take.
No.
I'm part of that bunch of people who have this misconception that it's just education. Kumbe, it's a tight thing.
It is tight. We even had students that dropped out in first year.
Wow.
And I know one, that one even called the parents and told them, you know what, instead of paying my tuition for the next 2 years, let me help you not waste it. Let's stop here. He stopped in first semester, first year.
First year.
Yes, he asked his parents to instead get that would-be tuition and he starts a business. I haven't followed up to see how far it's doing or it was the right decision to make, but that's what he decided. He said, I can't continue with this. This is too much.
The workload was just too much.
The workload was a lot. And on top of the workload, you have to walk from one faculty to another. Imagine you're having curriculum as your first lesson, you'll be at the School of Education. If you're having math, you definitely have to go up to JICA. You walk up to JICA. So the distance, and there are no borders on campus. You just walk there. So you would walk. Sometimes you find the front spaces filled up and you have to sit a bit behind because the math course units would combine most courses. So you would find us with you'd find education, Bachelor of Statistics, you find quantitative methods.
My goodness. So let me ask you, do you vouch for it the way it is, as in the workload and so on? Is it necessary?
Yes, the
in
workload
your opinion,
is necessary.
As a practitioner?
The workload is necessary, but I think it would be nice if it is spread over 4 years. You know, it's done in 3 years, but what you do is too much for only 3 years.
It's kind of like those guys who do is it, are they the engineers who do 5 years or whatever, or the doctors who do more years?
There are even moments whereby timetables would collide because you're having 2 teaching subjects. Chances are high that you're in 2 different colleges now, plus your own college, which is education. Those are 3 colleges. So you have to find out synchronizing all the 3 timetables. So you find that some lectures are colliding with another lecture in another one in another college. And you have to now start looking for where you can study. Now sometimes as in day, but sometimes for educational courses you would find me in evening so that I don't miss the lecture, something like that. But it all came with the timetable issues, and that is, even if it were you and you're given the opportunity to design timetables, probably you may resign because it's a very hard thing to do. You will not cater for everybody. At some point things will collide.
So let me ask you this. There's a time I was talking to an Indian friend. I was just giving them an interview, and they were telling me about their trajectory in growth in terms of their career and so on. Something interesting they told me is that in India, nearly everyone wants to become a teacher because, I don't know if I got them correctly, because number one, it's a very respected profession Number two, you are assured of pension. It's like a full-time job and it has pension with it. Basically, it has financial security as far as that is concerned. How would you rate our approach to that niche, that field here in Uganda and in Africa? How is education rated? I mean, people who are having careers in there, do you feel like there's a lot to be done, or it's on course?
There is still a lot to be done because education is underrated in this country. I see. I mean, I chose to go to the learning support sector because that is why I thought I would help the learners best.
Yeah.
But even then, when you're negotiating terms with a parent, you see that something isn't that way too much for a teacher. There's even a time someone wanted me to do videos for them, and when we came to agreeing on how much I had to be paid, the person replied my email and said, generally in Uganda, teachers don't even get that kind of money.
Whoa.
I know my work. I know the work I put in to learn.
What did you do? What did you reply to that email? I wanna know.
I actually responded calmly because I'm not really like that. I don't that word. So I responded calmly and I told him that I was afraid that I would leave the offer to another teacher who is able to work within what they want. Yes, because you can't tell me that I can't tell you my price basing on my way of doing things, and then you compare it to other teachers. I am not others. I am teacher Stella and teacher Basemera. I am not others. So you cannot pay me according to someone else, even if it were you in business. You can't pay me because so and so sells it cheaper. If so and so sells it cheaper, you go to the person and you compare quality.
But Stella, do you think it's a branding issue, as in if you branded yourself otherwise, other than what people know as teachers, as someone who is offering a different kind of solution, would it be different?
The first problem is what I had mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
That people find themselves in that course, but it's not their first. It's not among their first three choices. They find
it's not even their passion.
I put it as choice number 5. You know, most of those last choices, you're just putting to people the same.
Yeah.
So if you end up with any of those, you even find someone advising, they tell you, if you don't want to do education, please don't even put it anywhere, because they'll definitely speak to you. Something.
They give it to you.
They'll give it to you. So they tell you, if you don't want education, don't even bother putting it there. If you put it there, you definitely get it. So we have teachers who are teachers like that. Then we have teachers who are excited to be teachers. But when they go to the field, I don't know why, but when they go to the field, there is some form of desperation. I'll pay you this amount of money. And you say, yes, I will. And then you're thinking, I'm only going to do that school in the morning. So it's okay that man you can do in a month. And then you go to another school and they also pay them peanuts. So you find them teaching like in 3 schools and they're getting little money from each. Now for you, if you come and you're full time and you want a certain amount, you'll be looked at as the newcomer who needs the uniform.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's basically a branding issue, I think. And everyone thinks that from university you're supposed to go to a school. You're supposed to go to a school. But being a teacher, right from training, Dr. Mgaga used to tell us, I don't expect all of you in the classroom. He said that statement in orientation first year. He said, I don't expect all of you in the classroom. We are training you to be teachers of the world. Some of you must go to the classroom and the rest of you have to go somewhere else to teach. So, teachers in the bank, I bet they are the most patient people you'll find in the bank. We have teachers working in the bank. We have teachers working in so many other fields. We have teachers in management of businesses. Now, there is this niche which is still so green. We are very few people there. It is the learning support. People are doing counseling. People are doing counseling because counseling is part of the course load. I even got certification for it. Like you've literally done the certificate in guidance and counseling. So
even psychology
you have done it. You do psychology all through.
Wow.
You do all kinds of psychology all through. That's why I told you, university education at the university is the actual university content. So you can put me in the a teacher can lecture a psychology student.
My goodness.
Yes. So let me say, if you're so good at
and you see,
and
saying all that stuff, and yet we look down at teachers, as in the way we treat teachers is like they're, I don't know, second-rate career people, you know, and yet these guys are like, I don't know, have a serious foundation.
Yes, all teachers have a serious foundation, and the fact that I did that course, I respect teachers. And I respect teachers because what I went through, I imagine they all went through the same. And they'll say, maybe for you did sciences, even the arts teachers go through the same heat. They go through it all. So I think it's a branding issue.
Yeah, it could be a branding issue. And you guys, so now, Stella.
Yes.
For you, once you got out of uni, what was your career path? As in, what did you decide to do? Is it the same thing that you're still doing at this moment in time?
I love that story so much because I made a very weird decision. And everyone wondered how it would end up. So I did school practice, and school practice is like the internship for teachers. So I did school practice. You do it twice, at the end of second year and at the end of third year. So the one at the end of third year, I was in a school and I was trying to figure out what to do. Then I realized there were students coming. You know, you have only 1 hour to teach them, teaching sub-math, and the students, you would want to help the students, but 1 hour is done, the program has to continue. But there's questions, I tell them, no, I'll be in the physics lab, you can always come and assist you, because I was given space in the physics lab to sit. So there came during my free periods and I helped them out. So immediately after second term, there was a teacher's end of term party. I attended very well. Now, I was broke. From campus, unless you inherited something, but I was broke.
Yeah.
So I sat down, I looked at the money I had the 10K. I bought, that was 300 MB, that was 300 shillings, that was 10 MBs at that time. That was, I got Facebook Zero. I decided to assist students. I didn't even have it all planned. I just knew what I had to do. But those business plans, I didn't have any of that. I only had an opportunity, an idea, and my head. So I posted on Mama Tendo group, Facebook group.
Yeah.
I posted, and if you look at my first, if you look at my first posters, I would put.
Your first post.
It's not even professional at all. Like, it's just someone saying,
I know.
if you need a teacher in this subject and what, I'm available for you. And I put phone numbers. It was just like that. No picture.
Basic.
So I posted. The advantage on my side was the subject, math, and also the timing. It was just after second term. After second term, that's when they do mocks. After mocks, the parents are now looking at their kids differently. And side note, mathematics is one of the most failed subjects all over the world.
Yeah.
By learners.
Yeah.
Because they haven't figured out how to make it nice, easy, fun, and lovely. So I started advertising, and I got my customer. She called me and told me to go to her home because I didn't have space then, obviously. Now remember, the data was for 300.
Yeah.
So I picked 7,500. I had to leave some money for my rich commando and Rolex. So
yes.
I picked some of the money, so 7,500. Used it as transport. And I was just on suicide. You know that risk? You don't know they're going to do suicide, but you have agreed on the money.
If they don't pay you, you walk back home.
I will go back home because that 7,500 was enough for me to go to work and come back. At least that one I had it planned out, but I didn't know what the next day would be like. I got lucky. The first person I landed on paid me immediately. The first lesson I taught, they paid me. And that is how I started tutoring with only 7,800 shillings. So when someone tells me they don't have capital, I want, what do you mean when you have your
yeah. I'm guessing you've never done a formal job thereafter.
No. The only formal job I've done is school practice because I was in a formal setting with a principal, head teacher, other teachers and what. That is the only time I worked in a school like an employee, but I was a teacher trainee. Yes.
So let me ask you this, Stella. Talking of branding, you've gone there and you are now tutoring, and you've branded yourself. What exactly do you focus on? Is it the math alone, or there are some other things that you are also tutoring?
Starting out, I was literally all over the place.
Yeah.
I was all over the place. I was tutoring math, I was tutoring econ, I was tutoring physics, I was all over the place. As I told you earlier, I have a gift to teach.
Yeah.
So most of those things came easy with me. But then as you grow, you realize that you need to focus on your profession, your passion. I went through a personal growth stage whereby I decided, and also clients give you a direction. They keep showing you math. So I realized that math is a problem all over the place. We need to change the narrative. I have the answers. I know how I can help students figure this out. Someone helped me figure it out. Definitely I have to help someone else figure it out. So that is how I ended up focusing a lot more on math. And I have a very awesome team of teachers now.
Yeah,
we
how
have
many?
About 7, both full-time and part-time.
Wow.
So we have a team of teachers, very energetic, very committed to their work. And they all go through, they find they're already trained teachers, but they go through another training process on doing things our way.
Yeah.
The Creative Learning Africa way.
So Yes, let's talk about that. So, when you started branding yourself, what name did you start calling yourself, and how exactly were you deploying your services, given that there are formal schools all over the place? Of course, you've already talked about going to someone's home, but how exactly did you call? What name did you give your organization? Did you register that organization? And how exactly do you deploy your services? Your mathematics teaching services?
As I told you, I started on just my head and Facebook. I did not have any legal guidance or anything. I just started my hustle and life was going on smoothly. Along the way, I started writing about education, and then I used to call it Education Matters with Teacher Basemera. Though I thought it was too long. Along the way, I met this beautiful client, may her soul rest in peace. It was, I think, a former worker of URSB, she was called Mauda. She met me and called me, like, my daughter is struggling with math and what, I need you to assist her. And she told me, what you're doing is very beautiful. I love it so much. And you have space, you have a lot of customers, just, And just me, I said, I asked what is it and for what? I was so green about registration, formalization. I was so green. All I knew was 90. But you see, when in this world, you have to have the attitude and willingness to learn every day. That is how you survive. You have to be able to learn. So I asked her more details. She told me, no, you have to register because someone else is going to wake up in the morning and take your name and register it. What will you do? You're going to have to come up with a new name all over. They can even sue you that you're using their name. Like, what? This thing happened? I said, yes. She told me, go organize yourself. I will register the business for you for free. I'll help you do that. I said, which kind of favor is this? Now, I learned a big lesson around that time.
Wow.
I delayed to put things together. And she died in a car accident. I learned my first lesson in life that if you set out to do something, do it immediately. Because I delayed, because I delayed because I was lazy. I was trying to put together something, some organized work. How should my company be like? How should it be like? A layout, some form of organization. And then I would research, I try to find out here and there, so that I present something that is not so embarrassing for a teacher. I delayed doing that process and she died in a car accident. But I still remembered her words, make sure you register. And that is how, so coming up with a company name, I came up with Creative Learning Africa. So I had to look for somebody to help me through the process of registration. That is how I met Jalum. I told Jalum what I wanted. I told him, I'm so busy helping learners. How can you help?
I don't have time to figure these things out.
I don't have time to start running around looking for this paper. I don't even know what papers I'm supposed to be looking for. So his business helps people like us register. So he took me through the process. That he explained to me, you need this and this. What do you want to register it as? He took me throughout the whole process. I provided the national IDs and what all. I provided all that information and he registered Creative Learning Africa in 2000. Yes, and he took it on from there as Creative Learning Africa.
Okay, so and I see Africa has an A, a capital A at the end, and then there's a plus. What's that about?
It's supposed to be, you know, like the highest score you can get when you test is an A plus. So it relates to that.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Awesome. Stella, you said earlier on that many people worldwide fail math, and one of the reasons as to why that is because of the learning methods have not been reinvented. So let me ask you this. If I gave you my brain right now, my brain that got a C+ in mathematics, and you applied your teaching methods, am I able to perform better?
Yes, I believe you are able to perform better because everyone has the ability to learn in the way that they are designed to learn. Because we have different learning styles. We have the auditory learning style, we have the visual learning style, we have the kinesthetic learning style, those guys who are hands-on. Then we have the audio-visual. So those ones are basically both, but they focus more on 3 because they are the ones that stand out. Yes, and then we have different forms of intelligence. Howard Gardner explained this better in his multiple intelligence.
Yeah, the 8 intelligences. Yeah. Now the question is, for me, what if I am a guy who works with words more than I work with numbers? Would I still need your? I mean, why would I bother with mathematics? Speaking of Howard Gardner.
Yes, so everyone needs math in their life. Lawrence, you do business, right? You do business with words. When you're balancing the profits and the losses and the expenditures and what, you write words there, 200,000. You do.
No, I use simple math. I don't use trigonometry and
it doesn't matter. The word math
terminologies.
Imply everybody needs math.
Yeah.
So even if you're not going to go to a math field, you need basic math. You need survival math. You'll be cheated if you let other people do these things for you. You even buy things. You build houses. You do projects. You need it all zeros down to the math. If it does not make sense,
I hear you.
It won't work. Get you plans and all, but if the math does not add up, it will not work. So math is a common denominator in all fields.
So let's go back to the idea we were talking earlier on, that it's the teaching. The teaching is one of the reasons. The way it's taught, it's one of the reasons as to why many people fail, and that's why you, as Stella, is there together with your team to bridge that gap.
I wouldn't say the way it's taught. I would say it's the attitude. Math problems begin with attitude, a negative attitude.
But you see, even the word problem itself, we normally call mathematic problems.
They're called word problems. But they're not supposed to scare you. But the attitude issue starts right from the time you step in school. Your own parents tell you, math was hard for me, I hope it can be different for you. That's already a negative thing imprinted on a child's mind. You see our brains, they can't know the difference between the good words and the bad words. They take in all, as long as you feed it that.
Yeah.
So your own parents feed you with the analogy that they were not so good at math. To school, your peers tell you, math, those ones in higher classes, math, you're dead. You've already imprinted negativity on your mind. You've already imprinted that negativity on your mind that math is a no-go zone. So how are you going to learn math when your brain has already been programmed to think that is a no-go zone? So every time you try to revise, the brain is busy saying no-go zone. You try to revise, no-go zone. So what you're doing versus what is imprinted on your head are not correlating.
So how exactly do you deploy your services? You are 7 teachers and so on. How exactly do you deploy tutoring services in
Creative Learning Africa.
Creative Learning Africa. How exactly do you structure yourself? If there's a parent out there, actually there are very many parents out there who want their kids to up their game in terms of mathematics. Now there's Creative Learning Africa and kids are going to school nearly every single day. How do you get these kids? How do you tutor them?
So the first thing we do is do an assessment of them. An assessment, in simple language, it's a SWOT analysis done on the student. We find their strengths, their weaknesses, what are their opportunities, what are their threats. And we also assess their learning styles and the kind of intelligences they have. But we don't ask direct questions like, hey, what is your best learning style? No. We have our own set of questions we came up with, and we interact with the learner, have a normal conversation, but by the end of the conversation, you will have all your answers. And then we find out the problems they are having right now. And we find the solutions to those problems. Then we also use fun math ways of teaching. If we are teaching, let's say, a concept like division, we will not start it with division. We'll start it from the concept of sharing. A day-to-day life thing, concept of sharing.
You make math come alive in life, basically.
So we relate it to reality. We try to bring in games. Gamification is a very beautiful concept. We bring in the aspect of cartoons. All learners love cartoons, so we bring in the math comics. Who doesn't like music? We have started doing the rap thing. I suspect you've listened to it. If you allow me, I'll play it for you later.
That's okay. You can play it for us now.
I have to first look for it and then I play it. So I can be talking something else as I'm looking for it.
Yes.
So we have the math rap, whereby we rap about concepts. I don't have that voice to sing like Juliana. I don't have that. I don't have that Juliana voice. But at least I have rhythm, and in music you just need rhythm. Yes, you just need rhythm, and then you're good to go. Okay, let me play it for you to see it.
0 facts. Miss Math. Tutor. J plus 0 is J. J minus 0 is J. J times 0 is 0. J power 0 is 1. 0 power J is 0. 0 over J is 0. J over 0 is undefined. Root of 0 is 0. 0 facts.
Well, what can I say? Wow. Wonderful rendition there on the math rap. Let's just go back to the conversation, but this has just blown me away. Let's go back to the conversation and see what Stella has to offer. Yeah, thank you. So, as we were talking earlier on about having this talk, there is this thing that has come up that we needed to maybe just have a small, maybe 2-3 minutes discussion about. The AI, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, has come up, and in my opinion, so far, there's people who are focused mostly on theory learning and so on, are kind of either advantaged or disadvantaged one way or another. As a teacher in this field, what is your opinion on ChatGPT?
I love ChatGPT. I love new things. I love technology. I love improvements.
Yeah.
So I look at the good side of things. Most educationists are worried that it's going to take away the students' creativity. So instead of going and trying to discuss and figure out things, they'll just go to ChatGPT and get answers and copy and paste, and they hand in assignments. But the question we should be asking ourselves is that how should we improve our way of setting exams?
How should we improve our way of setting exams?
Yes, so that you can tell the difference between what has come from your mind and from ChatGPT. I'm going to give you two statements.
Yes.
One is my original statement from my head. The other one is the ChatGPT statement. Now, there is the first one. We still live with the effects of COVID-19. However, we shouldn't be crybabies. We need to figure out a way forward. The education sector suffered the most. Children went back to school green. I interacted with a learner in P7 who couldn't recall 24 divided by 6. That is statement A.
Okay.
Now I'm going to read statement B. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to impact our daily lives, but it's important that we approach the situation with resilience and determination. The education sector has been particularly hit hard, and it's concerning to hear that some students have fallen behind in their studies. For example, I recently spoke with a 7th grade student who was unable to perform a basic division problem. Nevertheless, it's crucial that we find ways to move forward and support each other through these challenging times. You as you, when you listen to statement A and statement B, which one do you think was mine?
Statement A.
Exactly. That is the weakness of ChatGPT. It's not going to...
What is that weakness?
It's focused more on facts. It's focused more on facts and objectives that it has been programmed to respond to. But your own opinion, your own style of writing, your own way of writing, how you would conclude on certain things, it can't read your mind.
I hear you.
That is why if they ask you, who is teacher Basemera Stella Mugume, you'll be able to tell someone that she's a math tutor doing this and this, right? But if you can't put my name in ChatGPT, they'll tell you, sorry, we don't know who that person is. Can you give us more details?
And even when it's given more details later on, they'll just be able to give back the facts. They will not even give opinion and feelings and emotions into it.
Artificial intelligence doesn't have feelings and what. It does not care whether you feel angry at the end of the day or not, as long as that is what it's supposed to respond. And
so, but are you excited as a teacher about
I'm excited as a teacher because I've even figured out its weakness. So it can help me to know that the student just did copy and paste, or they actually try to figure out things. And then it also gives us room to try more teaching methods. The children can do presentations. Even if they went to ChatGPT and it gave them all the answers, they have to present them and defend them.
Yeah.
Yes. So about it.
There are quite a number of advantages of ChatGPT in there. In that,
yes, there are so many. You can even get a lesson plan from ChatGPT.
Exactly. When I go to ChatGPT, I am not going to be given links to other websites where I am trying to find out which link is the best. When I go to ChatGPT and I post in there the question, of course, by the way, one of the biggest things about ChatGPT is the quality of your questions. If you ask a lousy question, you get a lousy answer. So the quality of your questions depend with the quality of the answer that you're going to get. I am given the answers and not links. Like when I go to Google and trying to find out something, Google will give me millions of links and I don't know which link has the information. So it kind of reduces the time for research, so to speak. So the theory is there, I get the theory and so on. But now the issue is the application and the assimilation of the information that AI is giving us. Doesn't that bother you as a teacher? That, all the data is there at a click of a mouse? And might you even encourage your students to use ChatGPT yourself?
For some assignments, I would encourage them to use it, because when I'm teaching math, I don't teach only one method of doing things.
Yeah.
For example, if you're looking at multiplication, we have to exploit all the methods of multiplication. Be it the grid method, the Ari method, the Russian method, the Egyptian method, etc. We have to exploit all the options available. So if I give a learner an assignment and they're supposed to find different ways they can multiply the same number, they can use ChatGPT for ideas, and then they come back and tell me, teacher, I found out this, and this. I think we need to just find a way of, as I said earlier, we just need to find a way of setting questions such that you would know if someone has used ChatGPT only, or they have also bothered to learn what ChatGPT has shown them. And
so
the other
short,
weakness it has, it doesn't show videos. It just types. It just types the explanations and what some people understand best after a video.
Yeah.
So if you're not someone who can read and get what it is trying to say, you may have to go back to YouTube and Google and watch videos. Yes.
I get you. You. So when I am having a kid that has a need and I needed them to be taught, where will you teach this kid from?
That one, we basically agree. It can be physical or on WhatsApp. We are doing WhatsApp tutorials. Yes, we are doing WhatsApp tutorials. We have kids in Kenya right now. We have kids we are teaching in UK.
Whoa.
We have never met, but during COVID, they say opportunities favor the ones who are prepared. So I had already had a WhatsApp tutoring experience with a child who was in Pakistan. And girls that side, you cannot move without an adult because of your gender. So she found it difficult to go for tutorials and all that. The mother reached out to me and I started helping her out on WhatsApp because she was supposed to repeat some papers. She was doing EDSL Cambridge. So I kept assisting her on WhatsApp. I tried to bring other parents on board, but the only thing they would do is send in homework, which is hard, and I tried to help them from there. When lockdown came, so when other schools were preparing to close, I met my team. I told them, if they lock us down, we are going to teach on WhatsApp. And this is how we are going to do it. So we had a training on how to teach on WhatsApp. That night, they announced all schools are doing what? Closing. We were ready. We put the posters up immediately. So we got over 500 students. There were around 700 something from kindergarten up to senior 6. So that whole first month
500 is a school, my friend. That is a school.
Yes. We worked with all of them during the first month of locking down schools because their schools did not have a plan. They were also shocked There was nothing ready. Literally, the term had just started. But it found us ready. So the day they closed is the same day we put out the poster. And we created different WhatsApp groups for different classes. So after that month, the traffic kept reducing because most schools had figured out Zoom and other things. And they put conditions. If you do not study from our school, you're not going to be promoted. So our big classroom became smaller. It became smaller, but it gave birth to an opportunity, which was the UK community. So someone just had someone talking to me over a phone call. She used to be my client here in Uganda, and she went to UK. So she was talking to me about tutoring the daughter who was here in Uganda at that time and her workmate had. She got curious and tried out. When she tried out and was excited, she kept referring me to everybody, her in-laws, her friends, her what. That is how we broke through the UK community.
Wow. Beautiful stuff.
And
so today,
now,
if a parent wanted to get your services, where do they go? I mean, how do they get in touch?
Usually, most of our parents come through referrals. So you just hear someone calling you over the phone and they tell you their issues. Sometimes they WhatsApp you. That's why sometimes I sleep late. Someone sends you a WhatsApp message like at midnight and then is asking this and this and this. So usually the point of getting in touch is over the phone. And then they tell me to find me at my office, or we invite them to our center, or some can say you come to my home. So it is flexible like that.
But now if someone wanted to find you, do you have like a phone number they can reach you at, email address, website, stuff like that?
Yes, my phone number is 0787.
That is a Ugandan number.
Oh, okay, plus 256 787 50 8350. They can find me on TikTok. I'm Miss Math Tutor on TikTok. They can find me on Twitter. Yes, I'm Basemera Stella Marie. I also use Miss Math Tutor on most of my handles. They can find me on LinkedIn, same name. They can find me on Facebook, same name. And my WhatsApp is the most efficient way you can reach me. You can go and read our blogs on creativelearningafrica.wordpress.com. Yes.
Okay. So, Stella, it's been exciting having this 1 hour talking to you about what you do in education. And I know we've not even gone deep, we've just scratched the surface, but I thank you so much for the kind of work that you're doing in this universe, educating people. You're a breath of fresh air in the education sector. And we could talk about things that should be done differently, but we don't have time for that. And maybe we can do this next time with maybe a discussion with someone else, so that the three of us go deeper into that particular topic.
Would be lovely.
That would be nice. So we can do that another time. But until then, I just want to say thank you for sparing some time this early morning for this discussion.
You're welcome. Thank you for hosting me.
Thank you too, Stella. So what can I say but bye-bye and God bless you.
God bless you too.